Hello, welcome to another coaching mastery video. In today's video, we are going to look at uploading and downloading files with an FTP client. The first thing we want to look at is what exactly is an FTP client. Now, when you talk about an FTP client, what you mean by FTP is file transfer protocol. So FTP simply is a process of uploading and downloading files to a website. Don't forget, your website is just a storage device that's like a hard drive that is composed of files. So you have your videos, your audios, your PDF documents, your Microsoft Word documents, whatever file you have placed in your website is what visitors to your website will get access to. When you talk about an FTP software, is an FTP software is just a software that makes downloading and uploading of files to your website possible. So you are talking about a software that gives you an easy access to be able to store a file to your website, and then when there is a need for it, you can also bring down that file from your website to your computer in a download process. Now, when you talk about FTP clients, that's pretty much what we are talking about. We are talking about softwares that are able to make it easy for you to do file uploads and downloads. Now, you would want to ask the question, why do I need to have an FTP client when already my admin panel, either you are using cPanel or you are using Webuzo, whatever admin panel you are using, a lot of those admin panels already have a file manager within them. So for instance, you are talking about cPanel already having a file manager. You are talking about Webuzo panel already having a file manager. And then you are wondering, why do I need another software when I can just pretty much do the same thing that this software is going to do for me with that file manager? Well, one of the basic reasons is that using FTP clients is more convenient, like you are going to see shortly. And then there are certain limitations that you would experience when you use the file manager that is available on your website that you may not experience when you use an FTP client. For instance, sometimes you have limits on uploads. You want to upload a file and there is a limit on the amount or the size of a file you can upload using the file manager available on your website. And then you find out that when you use an FTP client, you are able to upload a file that is larger than the limits that normally you are able to upload when you use the online based file manager that comes with your admin panel, either Webuzo or cPanel. There are so many admin panels out there, but one of the two that we actually focus on in this course is Webuzo or cPanel. Another reason why you might want to consider using an FTP software that is installed on your PC is the fact that when you are uploading files, especially when those files are not zipped, like you have a folder that has maybe like 100 different files in it. Now, when you are uploading such a file, if you are using the FTP, the file manager that comes with your website, that's the admin panel of your website, you will discover that it becomes cumbersome in that if you have 100 files within a directory, you need to upload all the 100 files one by one. The only way you can upload it as a unit is if you zip those files or you use any other archive to compress those files into a single file and you upload that single file. The moment you have files that are broken into pieces. Probably you have like 50 different zipped files that you want to upload. You need to carry out that action like 50 different times. So it becomes cumbersome. With an FTP software, you can just put everything together and then just go about your business and do other things while the FTP client manages the transfer of those files to or from your website. So we are going to look at how to use an FTP client to achieve these things in this video. Now there are so many FTP clients out there. There are so many of them. And whichever of these clients you use, you would pretty much find the same steps in those FTP softwares. You should find the same steps. You have to connect to your server. Once your server has been connected to, you navigate to the directory where you want to carry out either your download or your upload, and then you go ahead and do what it is you want to do within that directory. So you would discover that they all pretty much do the same thing. It's just that the way they have implemented how things are done and the user interfaces may be different from one FTP client to the other. So there are so many FTP clients out there that you can use. Some examples are FileZilla, CyberDoc, Qt FTP, Smart FTP, Core FTP. All these are FTP softwares that you can use to move files from your computer to your website and then from your website to your computer. Now, there is no best, there is no how do I put it? You don't have, okay, which one is the best FTP software? They all have their strengths, they all have what they do, they all have different user interfaces. So I would advise that you go around and just test a couple and find out which one works the most for you and just go with that. For this tutorial, we are going to use CyberDoc. Now, the reason why I'm using CyberDoc for this tutorial is because CyberDoc has an added zip function in it such that it is easy for you to extract files on your website using CyberDoc. You see how that works shortly. So I'm going to be using CyberDoc for this tutorial. You need to probably go on Google and do a search for CyberDoc. When you do a search for CyberDoc, you download the software, install it on your PC, and then you can follow along with the rest of the tutorial. So I'm just going to power up my CyberDoc, and I will use that to connect to a live website, and I'll show you how things are done. So I have open here my CyberDoc FTP client. If you don't have an FTP client currently on your PC, then I advise that you go to Google, search for any FTP client that is of your choosing. If you are going to use CyberDoc, just search for CyberDoc. You can see the name of the client here, CyberDoc. Download a copy of CyberDoc, install CyberDoc, and then you can now follow the rest of the tutorial. So I have CyberDoc installed and I have CyberDoc opened here. The next thing I want to do is I want to click on Open Connection here. And once I click on Open Connection, I'm given an interface where I enter my FTP credentials. Now, this section for server is where you put in the address of your site. But before I do that, there are two protocols that you can use. You can use FTP or you can use SFTP. Now, if you try FTP protocol and you follow the steps and it doesn't work, no problem. Just come back and change the protocol with which you are connecting to either FTP SSL or SFTP. I prefer to use SFTP most of the time. So just check and play around to find what works for your particular server. So I'm just going to go with SFTP now, and then here where you have the server name, what you do is either to put in the IP address of your server or to put in the URL of your server. That's your domain name for your server. If you are putting the domain name for your server, you go something like example.com. You don't put the www in front or anything. It will be wrong if you do www dot whatever. Just the domain name for that server. Like for instance, you are doing example.com. I'll be using the IP address of my server, and then you put in the username of your server, and then you put in the password of your server. So if you are using cPanel, your cPanel login should suffice. The username and the password of your cPanel should suffice at this point. And if you are using Webuzo panel, your ID for your login credentials for your Webuzo admin panel should also work for this purpose. So I'm just going to input my data, and then I'm going to log in to my my site, and I will show you around how to do upload and download. And then if you have uploaded an archive, maybe a zipped archive for instance, how you can extract that zip archive to your site using the cyber.ftp client. Now you need to also pay attention at this point that when you are choosing, after you've entered your server name and then you've entered the username for your site and the password, you don't need to touch any other setting. The next thing you just need to do is click the connect button and just wait for the FTP client to connect to your site. And once that connection has been established, you can start working on your site. If you want to upload a file, you want to download a file, you can just start from that point. So I'm just going to do that right now, and then we'll now go on from that point. So I have just connected, and then it's asking me if I want this, blah blah blah. I'll just go ahead to say allow, just allow it, and then I just wait for that connection to be established. And you can see the connection has now been established to my site, and you can see everything on my site is now showing here. So this is like a navigation panel for my site. I want to go into the public_HTML directory. That's usually where all your files are located for your site. So I'm just going to go into that directory, and then I'm going to go into this bonus directory. So all you need to do is double click, and as you double click, you see you moving into those directories. So if you got the full package of the 90-day challenge and the content was uploaded to your site, then you should be able to access the bonus directory wherever it is that we have uploaded that content for you. So once you are here, you see all the files. So pretty much you can navigate around, and then you can go back to where you started from, and then you can move forward to those places that you've accessed before, and you can just go around and see things. Now once you are here, let's assume I want to add more content to this bonus area. What do? Once I am inside the directory where I want to add content to, the next thing I want to do is just to click the upload icon here. Once I click the upload icon, I go into whatever directory it is I want to pick my upload from, and then I choose the file I want to upload. I add that file to the upload, and that file is automatically transferred to my website. So just wait for the upload to be complete, and once that upload is complete, you have that file on your website. It's as simple as that. And if you decide you want to download a file, you can just as well do the reverse of that. So to download a file, all I need to do is click that file, or to click a group of files I want to download. So if you are clicking a group of files, just select the first one, hold down the shift key on your keyboard and then just select multiple files that you would like to download. Now, once you have selected the multiple files you would like to download, the next thing you want to do is to right click. Now you are right clicking and then just pick the download icon. Once you click the download icon, that file will be downloaded to your PC and you have a copy of that file on your PC. Now the next thing you want to probably do when you are on your website also is that you may want to extract files. So once you are on your website, you may want to extract files. Like, okay, I'm on this website now, I'm in this bonus directory, and I want to extract the content of this file. As you can see, this particular file, and then you can also see the sizes of all the files. For instance, module 22 is 585 megabytes, module 19 is 446 megabytes, module 18 is 230 megabytes, module 17 is 336 megabytes. So we actually did a lot of work uploading this content for you. You can see module 2 is 751 megabytes. Now, one of the reasons why we did the upload for you in the first place is because upload speeds here in our country can be very, very slow. You may try to upload a 700 megabyte file. For instance, if you are uploading this 700 megabyte file, it will take you hours and hours and hours to upload. However, download speeds are faster. So if you are downloading 700 megabytes, you find out that downloading 700 megabytes happens faster than when you upload, because generally what our ISPs, our internet service providers, do is that they give us fairly good download speeds, but we get very poor upload speeds. So in such a case, you will discover that when you are uploading files, you would need to have a lot of patience. So when you are uploading, just have patience, have a stable internet connection, make sure that you have data, and then just be patient. It may take you hours to upload such kind of large files. Downloads will actually be faster because the download speeds that we have are faster than the upload speeds that you find around. Now, we've uploaded all these zipped files. You can see these files are zipped: bonus1.zip, bonus2.zip, bonus3.zip, module1.zip, module2.zip, and so on and so forth. Sometimes you want to work on your file on your site without having to download. For instance, if you are uploading a plugin, let's assume you have WordPress. In the next video, we'll talk about WordPress a little bit, how to install WordPress and how to install both themes and plugins to your site. So let's assume you have a WordPress site and you have uploaded a zipped theme to that WordPress site. Now, the easiest way to work with that theme would be to unzip the theme to your website after upload, because when you upload files that you unzipped on your PC, it takes longer. If a file is zipped, if it's compressed, let's assume a file has like 1,000 items inside it. If it is compressed, 1,000 items will be uploaded as a single file, so it happens faster. Unlike when you have 1,000 items that is unzipped, and then you are trying to upload 1,000 items that is unzipped. When you are trying to upload 1,000 items that is unzipped, each one of that 1,000 items will be treated as an individual file, and each one will be uploaded one by one, so it takes more time. So it's usually advisable to zip up, upload, then unzip on your site. So like in this case now, these files have been uploaded already. I can go ahead to just right click on it. This is one advantage of using CyberDoc. You can perform extraction on an archive that has already been uploaded. So I can just pick module 2, for instance, which is 751 megabytes. I can right click on that and then I can expand archive. When I click to expand archive, what happens is that an unzip is performed on that particular file. So I just go ahead to expand archive, and once I expand archive, I wait. You can see an unzip is being performed, so I wait for that unzip to be completed. And as soon as the unzip is completed, I would have an unzipped module 2, which I can open up further and I can see the content of that unzip. So here I have module 2, it has been unzipped for me, and I can just double click on it and see the content of module 2. So this is everything that is inside module 2. There are 250 different items inside module 2 alone. So I can just go ahead and now open whichever one I want to view and see the content of that particular file. Let me just go back, and then when I do not need a file, I can just go ahead to delete. So to delete, I'm just going to do the same thing, right click on it, and then I go to delete. I delete, and then that file is gone. So it's FTP Client makes operating with files on your website easy, because these are things that normally you carry out on a day-to-day basis on your website. You want to put in files, you want to delete what you don't need, you want to add new documents and things like that. Now, once you have uploaded a file, that file becomes accessible. For instance, if you have uploaded a zipped file like module 1, for instance, then you can now go to your website.com or .net or .com.ng. Public_HTML folder means your website.com or .com.ng or .net or whatever it is that your domain is. Now, the next folder is the bonus folder. Then will come the name of the file. So if you upload a file and the file is called Adebayo, for instance, then to adebayo.zip, if that file is adebayo.zip or that file is adebayo.pdf, then to access that file, you will need to go to your website.com/bonus, because the file is uploaded to the bonus folder. So it will be /bonus, then /adebayo.zip or .pdf. So if you need to give any other person that file, then that person will be able to access that file from that URL. You can see the delete of this file is still going on. We have 250 files with sub-content in it, so it will probably take some time to complete, and then you just have to wait for it. Now, one of the very, very good things about operating a digital empire, if you have a business that is online, one of the very good things of a business that is online, especially when your business deals with digital products. When I say digital products, I'm talking about things that are intangible. When I say intangible, they are products and they are valuable, but they are like soft copies of products. So you are looking at things like videos. For instance, this video I am recording now, and which you are consuming as content. You are looking at things like videos, you are looking at articles, you are looking at books that are in digital format, PDF books majorly. You are looking at audio content, MP3 audios. You are looking at softwares. Now, when you create digital products that are digitally downloadables, or let me say downloadables, one of the major advantage is that your costs for distributing your content is next to zero, aside from your bandwidth. And for most people, the bandwidth that you bought with your server, you probably won't even exhaust it. So a lot of people buy websites, they pay for websites on a monthly basis, and they are not even fully utilizing the website. So when you create digital products and you have a digital empire, I like to see it as having multiple streams of internet businesses. So when you have digital products and downloadables, one of the major advantages is the fact that your cost of distribution is zero, or is nearly or next to nothing. So for instance, this video can be viewed by 1,000 people after I have sold it to 1,000 people, and I don't need to spend any extra cash doing it. I don't need to ship anything. I don't need to hire a staff to manage inventory. I don't need to do any of those. Someone has paid me for the video. I give the person a download link, and then once that person has downloaded, that video is replicated automatically. And that's one of the beauty of having a web business that deals in downloadables, or that deals in shareables, or that deals in things that are digitally enabled. So really that is one of the reasons why I'm taking you through FTP, because FTP, being able to put files on your site, being able to download files from your site, being able to manipulate files, is actually a basis for you creating a digital empire. Because once you have created a product or a service, all you need to do is upload that product or service to your website. And once you've uploaded the product or website or service, once you've uploaded the product to your website, you can just get a download link, which you now give to anybody who has made a payment for your product. And once you give that person the download link, that person automatically has a copy after payment, and your business just goes on like that. It makes life very, very easy. So let me just see now. We are still deleting. It's taking a while. I don't know if my internet connection is still active, but it's taking some time. But now that we have gone through upload, download, extracting archives, moving around the website, let me just try and just upload a file, and then you just see another way of uploading. I told you earlier that if you want to upload a file, navigate to the directory where you want the file to be uploaded, and once you navigate to that directory where you want the file to be uploaded, click the upload button, and then just upload. Select the file from your PC and upload that file. But also you can also go ahead to create a new directory. So I can create a new folder on this site. For instance, I right click and then I go new folder. If I'm doing a file, I go new file. So I can just say new folder, and I can just name the folder anything I want. For instance, I can say, okay, this is a test. So I'm just going to say tests, and then I'm going to do a create of that folder. And once I do a create of that folder, a new folder is created for me called tests. I double click to open up that folder, and then let me just upload a copy of InstaBuilder in that folder. So all I just need to do is drag, and then I can just drop it into this folder, and the upload process will start. You can see that upload process has started, and all I just need to do is to allow the upload process to proceed, and it just, you can see the file is being moved to my server. It's giving me estimated time it will take for the upload to complete, and you can see the transfer is going on, so you can monitor it. This is how much has been uploaded, this is how much will be uploaded. So about 32 kilobytes of a file has been uploaded out of 39 kilobytes, and then all you just need to do is just wait for the process to be completed, and once that process is completed, that file is replicated to your server and you can use it from and on your server. I'm just going to go ahead to stop this because I don't really need that file, so I'm just going to stop or remove. Okay, I'm removing it. Okay, so I've stopped that. I close this. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead to delete this folder I created earlier. And okay, so things are back. So that's basically what you do when it comes to FTP. You are moving files to your site, you are getting files down from your site. You are managing the files on your site with your FTP server. Now, before I close this video, I need to make you understand that I would advise you, especially when you are starting out, when you are tired, don't use an FTP software. Okay, when you are emotionally not stable, don't use an FTP software. When you are distracted, don't use an FTP software on your site. The reason is because during those periods, if you are not paying attention and you delete something you are not supposed to delete from your site, you may not be able to retrieve it or do anything about it. And if you are not very careful, it may mean that a critical part of your site or a critical part of your business is lost simply because you deleted something or you moved something that you had no intention of moving in the first place. So you need to be very careful about what you do as regards your website. You need to be very, very careful. So when you are tired and you are distracted, please try to avoid using an FTP software, especially when you're just starting. I'll see you in the next video where we look at some other things about working with your websites as we move along with the 90-day challenge.